Welcome to the Prumihimo channel. In this video, I'd like to show you a technique on the Prumihimo disc, which is called single beading. So first of all, the Prumihimo disc was designed by me, Prumihimo, and it is a patented product that guides the braider through the steps of a traditional braid using my own system of slots, dots and numbers. This is a technique video, which means I'm not going to show you how to make a particular design, but I will show you the technique so you can use your own creativity to make your own designs. Single beading is the name I have given to having beads on one side of the braid, on a single side of the braid, as in this bracelet. And it is the Prumihimo disc which produces this straight braid that is the perfect tool for making this type of jewellery. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a few more examples of what you can do with it. What I'm going to start with is showing you how to set up your disc. So you're going to set up your disc in the regular way with satin cords in the top and bottom slots at 1 and 2, and some sort of beading cord such as Eslon or Ceylon in the top and bottom slots at number 3 and number 4. Now you can put in beads from any of the cords, but when I'm doing single beading I always use the top cord at number 3 for my beads. And there are two ways of achieving this with this disc. I'm going to show you first this way, which is the wider spacing. So for this method, what you do is on your top cord at number 3, so here it is, this is actually the top, when we turn it to the top, you put your beads. And this can be pretty much anything. I'm using some size 2 beads so that they're nice and visible. You can use large, you can use small, you can use shaped, you can use 2-hole. That's up to you. The only limit is your imagination. And so I do my regular moves, and the starting point for this video is that you do actually know how to use the Prumihimo disc. So you do your moves at number 1, that's top to bottom to top, bottom across, and at number 2, top to bottom to top, bottom across, using your thumb if necessary to steady the cords. Now at number 3, this is where you're going to drop in a bead, and you've got your beads on the top cord at number 3. So drop it in and make it sit in that top V. You can use your thumb if necessary to press it down, but you must keep your eye on it. It must stay in its own V of satin cord like that. And for single beading here, we're just going to continue our moves, bottom to top, bottom across, and all the time I'm really watching that bead because it could jump out. If it does, it will end up in the wrong position on the braid. Now I do my moves at 4, top to bottom to top, bottom across, and that's actually locked that bead into position now. So now I continue round. That was my first sequence. Now I do the second sequence, top to bottom to top, bottom across, and round to number 2, top to bottom to top, bottom across. Now in this braid the cords swap positions, so although we started with the beads on the top cord at 3, they are now on the bottom cord at 3. So for this braid we only want the beads to be on one side of the braid, on a single side of the braid. So because there are no beads on the top cord, we don't add in anything. Top to bottom to top, bottom across, and round to number 4, top to bottom to top, bottom across. So that was the second full sequence of moves. Now I'm going to do the third sequence, satin cords, top to bottom to top, bottom across, and at number 2, top to bottom to top, bottom across. And now when I lift the cord at number 3, my beads have moved back into that position. So I drop one in, top to bottom, making sure it stays in position, using my thumb if necessary, bottom to top, bottom across, keeping an eye all the time, using my thumb if necessary, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across, and now it's locked into position. So if we turn the disc over and look at the braid, you'll see that all the beads are on one side of the braid and they're quite widely spaced. So that is method number 1. Now I'm going to move on to showing you method number 2. And if we look at this one, still all the beads on one side of the braid, but they're more closely spaced. So for this braid, what you do is you put beads on both top and bottom at number 3. But you're only going to drop them in from the top at 3 because you want them on that single side of the braid. So let's commence. Satin chords, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across. Number 2, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across. Number 3, and with this time there will always be beads at the top at number 3, so I drop one in, making sure it stays in its V, keeping an eye on it, remembering to do all my moves, bottom to top and bottom across, watching it the whole time, and round to number 4, top to bottom, bottom to top, bottom across. And now I'm back round to the beginning again. So I'm going to continue braiding, top to bottom to top, bottom across. Number 2, top to bottom to top, bottom across. Number 3, now this is actually the other cord, but it doesn't matter. I've got beads both top and bottom at 3, but I'm only going to drop them in from the top. So top to bottom to top without dropping anything in, bottom across, and round to number 4, top to bottom to top, bottom across. So let's have a look at that again, and there you go. You can see the comparison between the 2 braids. If I hold them up a bit more closely for you, like that. And now I'd just like to show you just a couple more things that you can do with this method. So there's a little bracelet with Monties. Here is a nice chunky necklace. And here's another necklace, a little bit more delicate. And if you're interested in finding some of my designs, you can take a look at my book, The Prumihimo Disc, and this is available from my website, the prumihimo.com website, or you can play with your own ideas. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope you will join me for the rest of the series of videos where I will show you double beading, triple beading and quadruple beading. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you get notifications of all my future videos, and I hope you will enjoy your braiding. So happy braiding to one and all. Goodbye.